Boiling hot, as expected. Oh Lord, I forgot to turn the light on. Where's the light? Uh, oh, okay. All right, here we go. No, okay. All right, it's incredibly hot, but I'm just gonna manage it. Hi, it's been a while. I had this stream set up for what? Late Saturday, but since it's the weekend, that's just usually my time off. Oh, I don't know what that means. That's usually my time off. So, I'm just gonna get this out the way. Wish I had music, but no, not where I am. This might be the only place where I'm actually enclosed and might have a little privacy to myself. A long time no sniff. I'm just gonna make this succinct, succinct as possible. Okay, it's kind of a tough topic, sort of. It depends on who you are. I'm just gonna get out the way. Um, so the title of this stream has something to do with underestimating the brain. So lately, I guess this past month or a little over than that, well, okay, I didn't make any notes to myself at how I wanted to start this, so okay. So let me just say that I was really down. It ain't just depression, but so I have it all started that I have a medical file that I was reading through, right? And I had it for a very long time, but I never touched on it myself. I never like read through it lately. It's it's been around since since my parents. So this file basically said is that I went to Ann Arbor. I went to the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor, and I was getting checked out because it's and University of Michigan is well known for its medical practices, and I since I don't have the file with me right now, I don't remember all the details, so I'm just gonna make it quick. I so I went down to Ann Arbor. This is not recent. It's like when I was a child or a teenager or something, high school, I think. So I went down there. I think there is a department specialized in autism, right? Because I was delayed at birth. And my parents were concerned about me getting to our milestones late, walking, going to the bathroom, so on and so on. And of course, those type of things are um, noticeable when you're older. Like getting when you grow up, you might be less sociable. You might have trouble with learning. You might have learning disability, and so on and so on. So what this analyst is said was this medical file had said was that what did it say? It basically said I was on the autistic spectrum, but I was also suffering from anxiety and depression, and it also had a file of my old school grades, in high school, and they were just bad. So because of disorder and the neurological or neurodivergence disorder, I just have a tendency, I look at things differently, and sometimes I'm just easily influenced by things. So when I read all this, I kind of thought, oh, I see. So that makes sense. And I just had a whole bunch of memories, and I was after that. I was just I just completely shut off. When I read all that, all about my weaknesses, or everything being delayed, delayed, delayed. I just had flashbacks, memories of all just being called slow, being called stupid, and I couldn't run fast enough, track and everything. I said a bunch of stupid stuff, and I thought I was making sense, but I wasn't, and other things. So I was hard on myself that day. So and then I thought to myself, well, I guess this all makes sense, and this is why. And it also said that I had average intelligence. I know that's harsh, but that basically, but I don't know if the anxiety might had something to do with blocking any neural signals, but I was doing bad in school. So immediately I thought, well, okay, I guess that makes sense, and I that makes sense, and that now means I have to work a little harder. Things are going to be a little bit tougher on me, and I have to. Well, I'm just not neurotypical. I guess that makes sense because if you watch my videos, I mean, I'm not really all there. And of course, oh yeah, no, one of the biggest elements of neurotypical, not neurodivergence is you're not good at socializing. But that's probably obvious, isn't it? I mean, stuttering. And okay, so after I read it, I just sunk in depression. So I just shut off all my socials. I got off Twitter. I thought I was gonna get off YouTube, but I got addicted to animal videos. So I just thought, just watch things that make me happy. But I unsubscribed to a lot of things, though. I probably should unsubscribe some more. But yeah, I think getting off of Twitter was definitely one of the best things I've done ever. But yeah, I was pretty down that day, and I lost faith. I got completely lost, and I thought, well, there's because of this illness and because of anxiety, of course, there's just a lot of things I can't do because everything is just delayed or broken apart, and things are just going to be harder on me. So I got lost. I didn't know what to do. Oh yeah, and I was also thinking about just how tough it is to do work. How tough it is to me to do work. Especially when it comes to keeping up with things. And I keep being told that I should consider this a handicap or illness or disability, and I haven't. And this drove me, and I got depressed because I've been ignoring it. Not that I was trying to pretend I was neurotypical, but I wasn't over. I overthink things sometimes, but I wasn't thinking about how it affected me and how much. So I ignored it. I was just going to work and back and forth, going home. But I rarely cooked, and well, there's just some things I just don't do that typical people do. That's all. And you know what else? In addition to the anxiety and the depression, I might have had. This is not officially diagnosed, but maybe I have adjustment disorder. Because if anyone knew me very, 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 very well, been on this channel for a long time, no, I do. I no longer have parents, and I've also, I think, for the past 5 years, I moved, what, at least I think 4 times. So what I do is I underestimate what life decisions do to you. I mean, it's just I in other words, I didn't know I was sick. And I mean, I knew I had it, but I didn't know it was 666. I mean, I didn't know it was significant. I didn't know it was bothering me that much. But I think the one thing that made me understand it a little better was when I was taking antidepressant. Um I would also be having nightmares. So about my parents, particularly my mom, because I was really aggravated with her. So and well, just to backtrack about uh the adjustment disorder. My mom kind of, I don't explain why, but let's just say her how she passed away was pretty abrupt and a little scary too. So I say that because I, like, again, I probably underestimated how these incidents, how these diseases kind of affect your brain. And back to what I was saying about dreams, I when I was taking antidepressant, I stopped having bad dreams. And bad dreams do reflect what your brain signals are going through. And there would be some really rough dreams. Like it was sometimes wake me up in the middle of the night. Like I would dream about driving too fast, drowning, or falling down the stairs, uh, and just hectic dreams about me yelling. I remember a recent one before I was taking the medicine, just screaming at my mom. But when I started taking the antidepressant, I started getting memories. Not memories, dreams of things we used to do. My mom and dad, we used to watch movies together, and it was just more calm, more calm dreams. And I'm thinking, what's going on here? Why is this happening? And then there's those the good dreams you get. You have trouble remembering those dreams. Unfortunately, you forget the good dreams, but the bad dreams, you remember the bad dreams because they're kind of shocking, I guess. But yeah, when I read that file, I just I got upset. So, and in a way, I'm still upset. And I think for 4 weeks or so, 3 or 4 weeks, I had no idea what to do. I think that file, I had to pick it up again. I think it has information on what to do about it, like occupational therapy. At the moment, I am taking therapy. I had therapy, I think, for a year now, or maybe a little less than that. So I am taking therapy, and she's a nice lady. Sometimes, but recently I did purchase some books about the spectrum and jobs. And one of the books stated that people on the autistic spectrum, even Asperger's, yeah, that's right. They have trouble. They're compared to neurotypicals, they have a lot of trouble getting work jobs. So in our case, we have to spend more time, I guess, training ourselves on what to do in these situations, especially when it comes to how to deal with the mostly neurotypical world in the career business, career section, I guess. Uh, so career section. No, that's wrong. No, I don't know the word right now. Lack of a better word, I'm just gonna say section. The career community, or the lack of a better word. So, so I'm just right now. I'm pretty lost. And since I moved, I was almost homeless, almost, and housing is spiking over $1,000. I mean, I recently inquired about a place, apartment, 1 bedroom apartment, and that's 1,600 with no utilities. I mean, 1 bedroom. I mean, what if you had a family? You had if I had a husband and 2 kids. I mean, so that means you would have to work. You had to be like a manager position and work all week because no one's making 1,600 and that easily. I mean, like most people, I lose income, so I lose jobs, and of course that has a lot to do with the anxiety. that wasn't helping the anxiety a bit. The moving wasn't helping the anxiety. Stuff like losing my car, losing my job, um, almost getting homeless, and yeah, I was, yeah, that almost happened, and my car broke down. My car was janky, y'all, kind of janky car. I'm kind of glad I don't have it anymore, to be honest. It was scary, and of course the gas prices went up, and I had to change my job because, well, I moved, went to family friends, and they're further away from my old job, so I had to change jobs, and then but the good part is I am I'm taking okay, come on, get it together. I'm having rides to work at the moment, but when it comes to getting in my own place, I have no idea what to do. But at the moment, they're saying to when I say they, family and such, they're saying to look into the disability, such as getting Social Security. Because at first, and many times actually, I thought, no, there's no way. I thought, no, there's no way that I can get disability with this Asperger's, or something, and depression, and again, underestimating it, and ignoring it and underestimating it. Um, but of course, and it's also a long process, so I still don't have no answer on that. But yeah, if I get disability, it might be a better chance of getting, maybe getting housing, but and also, of course, these diagnoses, these illnesses affect how you work, and well, I have no answer to that right now. It's just that everyone's just worried that I'm in a safe place. And oh, there's another thing. I also, the this month I've been, down and out. I had to I had to look. I had doctor's appointments. I had to go to dentist and get my physical. Which, by the way, a couple days ago, I was supposed to, go to the woman's doctor, and it turns out my insurance was not taken, which is funny because I my PCD, primary care doctor. So when you get HMO, or I guess state-based Medicaid, or state-based medical insurance, you need to get a you need to get an actual primary care physician. So, but my doctor gave me a list of people who's willing to see me, but I guess there was a mistake, and I was told that my insurance wasn't taken. It That's the United States for you. It's just, my insurance has a restricted network. Um, in in network is very restricted, for, I guess, to reduce cost, which is very silly. But so how did I make that mistake? I guess it has to do with the naming of the insurance. I mean, for example, like, you can't just say Medicaid. It's not a Medicaid. Medicaid is connected to other companies like Molina or Aetna, for example. But it might say something like Aetna of Michigan, Aetna of Better Michigan, for example. Your doctor might take Aetna, but they will not take Aetna of Michigan, something like that. If that makes sense. And I couldn't go to the doctor. And what's even more annoying about healthcare in Michigan, I mean, not Michigan, I'm sorry, United States, is that you have to wait a long time to get appointments. Like, your girl might have might have mass in her uterus, y'all. So that's another thing we're looking into. And I can't go check a woman doctor until September, which is crazy. I mean, if you get surgery, you have to wait a long time. What if it's an emergency? There's a bunch of videos about that, about about how United States has a whacked up healthcare system. It's just lengthy, expensive, and I'm not gonna get into politics either. It's just I'm not gonna get into it right now. It's stressful. So, because currently where I am, I haven't had much privacy. Where I am now, the people I'm living with, they have a nice closed in closet, but boy, a lot of noise cannot escape anywhere around the house. So I can't be doing reactions, and I can't be playing games right now because then I'm gonna get they're gonna call me. So I'm gonna get distracted a lot. But overall, because I do overthink things, and I am in a state of depression. I just I was kind of in a position of giving up. So, and then of course I was beating myself up because I don't have a home, and then I don't have enough money, and then I don't have money. I can't get my own place, and if I get my own place, what's likely probably gonna happen is that I might have to live with someone else. Like there's like assisted homes, for example, that kind of thing. So that's another issue. I mean, going in with a complete stranger, that just is just, some people are just not. If I'm diagnosed with not good with socializing, that's just, I guess that's just how it is. I mean, I can talk to people, but I'm just not good at it. If that's how it is, that's just how it is. Some people are better off alone. Some people are better with others, and that's just how the world is. We're all not the same. We're all not the same. And well, yeah. So it's I'm hanging in there. Just yeah, it's a little silly on my side. It's just that I don't get the freedom of doing what I want, or at least what I'm thinking. But at this moment, I'm working, but I'm temporarily working because I work at a school again, and it's June, and the school is about to be over until fall. So now I'm going to be out of work unless I find something. I'm going to be out of work for a few months, and I can't get unemployment, of course. I'm not allowed to get unemployment at my job. That's what they said. So I have to figure that out. But aside from that, I've been trying to, I'm still having trouble with the coping with, the, everything, the disease, and I, I, I recently, I said before, I purchased some books about autism and working, and I just, I really just need, for someone with depression and anxiety, I really just need, I guess, a little sunshine. I I should talk to people, like that's why I'm in therapy. I have to talk to people who are helpful, and of course, social media is just not that. So, of course, I think the only time I checked Twitter, I think, was just yesterday. I was just checking my messages, and that's it. I think one of the best things I did was not go on not go on social media. Don't go on Blue Sky. Don't go on YouTube. No, I'm on YouTube. Don't go on Twitter, Facebook. I am hardly on Instagram. I mean, I post a few things on there, but not a lot because I'm not that artistic. So artistic, artistic. Um, but by the way, if this video is too long for you, just press the S button, click it, and let the AI summarize it for you. I mean, it's kind of interesting to see the result. It's not always accurate, but it helps sometimes. But yeah, I just gotta. It's all about trying to keep my spirits up, I guess. And I don't know when I feel lost and down, I look for inspiration. I try to read, and I feel like cause since I am on the spectrum, I kind of put my nose in. I have to look in data. I have to research, and that's what we have to do anyway. That's what they prefer to do. Like you have to practice. You got to research. Like if something feels lost, I mean, Mom always told me like if you can't cook, you got to. I'm gonna give you this cookbook. She gave me a cookbook, and I didn't look through it. Just read the directions. She had faith that I could read directions because I can read. Probably cannot completely absorb all the directions, but I can read. But yeah, but research, and that's really all I can do right now. Just gotta wait for the doctors. I I don't have an answer about getting disability income because oh by the way, I um health again. I had to go to women's doctor because I've been having trouble with oxygen. I, if I'm trying to beat around the bush about this because it is a woman doctor. So, but um, I can't really work too much. I can't really exert myself too much. Uh, no matter how I try. Oh yeah, I should do exercise, yoga. I have to get back into that. Just be more mobile, research mobile. Okay, let me just go back to what I was saying about health. Had trouble with my oxygen. Um, I don't pass out, but um, now a lot of people will probably think dehydration, but I am prone to getting dizzy, and it's what caused me to get fired at my one of my jobs. I was doing a lot of physical work, and I didn't think much of it, but there will be times where actually scratch that. Let me say this. What it was, I was having blood loss, so I went to the doctor. I went to my doctor, and she said I had um a hemoglobin of 7, no 8. I think she said 8, but had it dropped like maybe one more, I would have to go to the hospital and get an IV. And so basically, this lack of blood was making me near pass out and just lethargic and weak, and I got fired from my job because um it was tough on me. I would have days where I had heavy legs. I had trouble breathing, and yeah, it was really scary. Um, and that's that kind of thing. So, and that's another thing. That's one of those underestimating things. Like, what does that mean? I gotta go to the doctor, and of course, when you're getting older, you don't realize that your body is changing, and you might have yeah, you might have mass in you. You might have something blocking your organs or stuff like that. That's just something we don't think about, and that's why it's scary when things don't go your way. And I just thought I have to exercise more and so on and so on. But that's just something I don't have a complete answer to yet, and that's just annoying. But at the moment, I just have to. I still have to wait because it's America, and I have to wait to go to the doctor. And I don't have a lot of money, and things are high because it's America. And now I got, and not now, but now I got to um, face facts, the reality that I'm a sick person, and I guess I and let's just admit to your myself is that I'm just not a good YouTuber. I'm actually a very casual YouTuber. I just I kind of do things the bootleg way. I just use my phone. I just record, and I don't. One thing I have to do it. One thing people on the spectrum, they're just um like I said with the overthinking. I have to not I have a tendency to just see things and assuming they're true sometimes. Like I'm gonna assume that trying to do YouTube stuff is the way to go, especially when I read things about how people break through um, industries just using YouTube or getting or just yeah break I guess breakthroughs, getting advantage over others because of YouTube and their follower count and such and such. But yeah, well, I mean, I do it because it's fun. I mean, I by no means I can't like I don't have any I haven't contributed enough like equipment and such. I don't have a studio or anything to make the channel bigger or better. No edit. I don't have no editing software and such, so I can make it more interesting, quote unquote interesting. Yeah, and that's all I want to say. So I've been sick, and I just gotta look into it more, and I gotta wait for the doctors more on the doctor and everything, and it's hot in here, so I'm gonna leave, and I just want to get that out the way. And apparently, it's been 30 minutes, and I'm surprised I was rambling for that long. I guess I feel a little better after saying it. Yeah, it's summertime. Well, it's almost summertime. It feels like summer. Yeah, it. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, but I've been watching a lot of animal. I watch animal videos. Watching Hololive. Little some clips. I gotta watch more movies. I gotta read more books. Just something that at this point I'm at a point where I just have to stay mentally fit and just take care of myself. So yeah, that's it. So I'll see y'all later, some other time. Hopefully, nothing bad happened or anything. Bye.